We are live. Welcome to episode 49 of the High Slot Podcast, brought to you by our producer, Mass Music Radio. I'm here today, as always, with the boys, Bob Deuce.
How are we?
Snipsky.
Yes, sir.
And myself, Andrew Coco Curry. How we doing, boys?
I'll start this on a good note. So, last weekend, shout out to Bud Knights, took home the C Division championship for the PPHL. Had my night with the cup and everything. That was pretty cool. Starting off our summer league tonight, actually after this recording, 10:00 puck drop. So, and how about you, Vinny?
Yeah, nothing crazy. Just chilling. Did a little bit of moving over the long week and a half since we recorded. Watching, sadly, the Bees, collapse on the city of Boston. But yeah, that's it. And I hope you guys tailed our playoff picks from last episode too.
Yeah, we did all right. But yeah, dude, playoff hockey has just been putting me through the ringer. First with the Bruins and then just like picks and bets. It's been a lot, man. It's been a lot. But Bob, good to hear that at least someone here is winning. Bud Knights taking home. Is that the same as Rucks to Pucks, or is that different?
It's different. So the Bud Knights, well, we rebranded to the Hillsiders because, political stances. But so we rebranded, but so the Bud Knights, now Hillsiders, is just like a men's league team. It's a bunch of Westwood guys, a couple Quincy guys. And Rucks to Pucks is like a complete different thing. It's like a non-profit for veteran suicide awareness. All the profits go towards that. And that's a bunch of Marines, couple Navy guys, myself and one other guy, and one Air Force guy. And we're playing in the Heroes Cup this coming month in June. And it's going to be a fun time in Marlboro. New England Sports Center has like a million rinks, so it's going to be like it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah! Sounds like the boys are gearing up, getting ready to raise some hardware.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some, collect the rings. You know what I mean? Trying to win a lot this summer. So
do it for the boys who couldn't.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got a great episode today. We're gonna start with a quick recap of the first round of the NHL playoffs. And then we'll get into our round 2 playoff preview, break down each second round matchup, as well as give you our series predictions. Snipsky mentioned the boys were hot in round 1. We'll look to keep it going for round 2. You boys ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so the first round of the NHL playoffs provided some great action, tons of controversy, a lot of excitement. We saw 3 pivotal Game 7s. Why don't we dive into the results? Yeah, I guess we'll just rip the Band-Aid off, address the elephant in the room. Boston Bruins have been eliminated in 7 games to the Florida Panthers after a 3-1 series lead. Just a brutal collapse. What are your thoughts, boys?
I said it like podcasts ago. I mean, I'm not gonna try to dig and bring it up. If you listened, you listened. But I said going into this playoff, man, I was nervous. Because every time the Bruins do this, doesn't matter for the 1 seed, the A seed, whatever, we always find a way to bow out first or second round. All those accolades in the regular season doesn't matter. Like, for example, like Ullmark, dude, he went from leanest to penis Ullmark, fucking with that awful turnover behind the net in Game 5 in OT. Like, what are you doing? Did you have Panthers fucking in 7? Like, what are you doing, bud? So it just sucks, dude. Like, as a Bruins fan, like all 3 of us here, like sitting here, like and Bo behind us, like I can speak for all of us that we're just highly disappointed. But at the same time, you kind of expected it. You know what I mean? Which sucks really bad. Like the best team to ever do in the regular season, and then now you have to fucking live with that the rest of your life. And honestly, if I was a Bruins player, I would have got a one-way ticket out of here and went in hiding for like 6 months.
Yeah, that's probably what they did. I would. But yeah, just all around disappointing. We really got wheeled on by Matt Tkachuk and the boys, Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Bennett was a huge ad during the series. He like came in game 2 or 3. Bobrovsky really just was solid. It was questionable how they started with like line. We thought we had it locked up when we were playing early in the series, and then they made the switch over, and unfortunately we just couldn't adjust. Allmark, I think we stuck with Allmark a little bit too long. Probably needed to switch him probably for game 6, or in hindsight, that's probably what they should have done. But Allmark, it sucks that they rolled him so long. He was hurt, and our defense just got pressured and couldn't handle the adversity throughout the series. And our big guns like Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak just didn't show up. Kind of just reminisce of St. Louis Blues 2019. We're the better team, just kind of gutless, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that was tough. I mean, that's the honest truth. And I don't see how you come back from this, honestly. If you're the Boston Bruins, I mean, up 3-1 as the number 1 seed to an 8 seed, blowing it, having game 7 at home, and just, not being able to get the job done. I mean, you just look at the history of the Boston Bruins in the playoffs lately. I mean, obviously this year, all-time collapse, probably the worst collapse in NHL history. I mean, some are saying the Lightning was potentially worse, but they got swept. They never even had a chance. We had a 3-1 series lead at 3 opportunities to send them home and couldn't. I feel like that's just so much worse than what happened to Tampa. But going back to our history here in the playoffs, so, last year couldn't get it done in 7 against Carolina. Year before that, lost in 6 to the Islanders, up 2-1 in that series. Lost in 5 to Tampa the year before that. You lose in 7 to the Blues in the Cup Finals at home. Again, can't win the big game. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I think the Bruins have earned themselves the title as chokers. I think we're the new Toronto Maple Leafs, to be honest with you. It was like a passing of the torch. Like, we'll talk about the Leafs in a little bit. Like, they finally get through the first round for the first time in 19 years, and the Bruins once again fall flat in their face. It's literally passing of the torch. And we just took over that title from Toronto. We're the new laughingstock of the NHL is what it comes down to. And we deserve all the jokes that are coming our way, too, as Bruins fans. And it just sucks. And we're going to have to wear this one on the chin.
So this got brought to my attention like right after we lost. So it's honestly kind of crazy. So you know how they said there was a Tuukka Rask curse for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Tuukka Rask retired last year, and look what happens. Just fucking complete, like, can't get out of the first round, complete collapse. Honestly, I got blown away. I looked at it, I'm like, wow, like, and then now the Toronto Maple Leafs get out of the first round after Tuukka retires. Dude, it was the curse. It was the curse of Tuukka Rask. After they dealt him to us, the Leafs were getting fucking speed bagged out of the first round, and then we got speed bagged, and now fucking they're in the second round playing tonight. So.
I think it just comes down to just the whole roster just being soft and not up to the moment, honestly.
And bad coaching.
Like you got a guy like Hampus Lindholm, who we traded for at the deadline last year. Before he even touched the ice, we gave him an extension, 8 years, like $6 million. Just like a commitment. This guy has played in 11 playoff games since then, 0 points.
0.
He was flipping. He flipped more pucks into the stands.
But the thing is, the one thing that I noticed too is that like Monty just wasn't making any adjustments, and when he made adjustments, they were the wrong adjustments. Like he was like taking out Freddie. Like, I don't know why like you take out one of your fighters and your gritty players out of like the lineup when you have a fucking like Matt Tkachuk running around like fucking doing whatever he wants and no one's even trying to fight him. You know what I mean? Like Freddie like had to be out there like to answer the bell for that kind of shit. And obviously like the goalie situation, like Omar clearly probably wasn't 100% like healthy, and you rode him way too long. You know what I mean? Like it showed. He was letting in a bunch of fucking softies. And then I think going to Swayman in Game 7 definitely wasn't like a bad move, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like you should have put him in Game 6 or halfway through Game 6 when fucking Omar was just laying an egg. But I think Monty just kind of got exposed as like a coach. I think he just got gifted like a really good team going into his first year. You know what I mean? And like ripped it up and all that. But the thing is, like when it really came down to it, like the lights were too big for him, and Paul Maurice just outcoached him.
Yeah. No, yeah, Monty, man. That's tough for Monty because I really liked him. He had a great, I mean, I still like him, but he had a great regular season, did everything right in the regular season, and then, yeah, had some real questionable moves in the playoffs. I agree with the goaltend situation 100%. Kevin Weeks tweeted out that Ullmark was dealing with a debilitating like mobility injury, which as a goaltender, that does not sound good whatsoever. So why did we ride him?
Probably a groin or something.
Yeah. So why did we ride him for 6 games when we knew he was hurt? You know, and he had never played 6 games in a row all season. You know, we had always had the one,
exactly.
Two Swayman. So why wasn't Swayman mixed in earlier? Like, clearly, Ullmark had some struggles in games 5 and 6 there. So yeah, Swayman should have saw the ice in at least game 6. And then, yeah, it was a really ballsy move to even throw him in game 7. I mean, not going to say he lost us the game. He had a couple he could have stopped. But that wasn't really the issue at the end of the day. It wasn't really goaltending. It really came down to the rest of the team and just being, a little resilient and getting it done. We got outplayed. We couldn't handle the Panthers forecheck. It was relentless. And, yeah, no adjustments were made. We had some injuries, obviously, Bergie, Krejci, but then, yeah, Bob, you mentioned, like, all of a sudden Monty just mixed up the lines for no reason when things were going well, put guys who hadn't played with each other all year, kind of broke up some of that chemistry, and then it was kind of really all downhill from there.
Yeah, I want to add that, like, the back end, our defense was good all year. Like, it was one of our strong points. Maybe our defense, our goalie, goaltending overachieved a little bit, but like our defense got absolutely exposed in the series. Like, we can't have like Clifton or Grizzly be like our 6D. It just, we're not going to win. Like, and it showed,
Yeah, the defense was horrendous. Not one single person on that defense showed up this series. McAvoy was a ghost. I don't know where he was. Talked about Lindholm, didn't have a single point. Clifton was abysmal. He was absolutely abysmal, just throwing large cheese pizzas right up the center of the ice. DiGiorno delivery up there. The list just goes on.
Everybody was.
Forbert was a liability. Grizzlick in that lineup.
Yeah, he's the best penalty killer, and he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't help us.
Too far out.
Grizzlick in and out of the lineup. When he was in the lineup, didn't do much. I'd say really the only one who wasn't that bad was Carlo, surprisingly. He kind of was just out there.
And that's saying a lot.
Did you see him? Did you see him miss that net?
Oh, yeah.
He slapped at it. He had all day. He could have ate a slice of cheese.
Dude, as a defensive coach, I was like watching that series and I was like fucking like yanking my hair, dude. I was like, what the fuck? It was just like stupid shit. Like, they just like weren't playing their game, dude. Because the thing, like, I think the one thing that really bit us in the ass too, and they try to adjust it late in the series, and like they're not used to playing that type of defensive style, so it just like was, like you said, Coco, was downhill from there. So you know how like Monty wanted them to jump into the play, that the defense be like the fourth like forward going up, or whatever. That was biting us in the ass too. It was letting a bunch of odd man rushes and stuff like that. And I guess and I'm assuming he's probably, hey, stay back. And then like our defense isn't used to like staying back and actually playing defensive. You know what I mean? Like, it just threw off the whole entire chemistry.
Oh yeah, there was so many Panthers behind our D when we're trying to jump north, because that's what Montgomery wants to do. He wants, once you get the puck in the neutral zone, everybody go, even you're a D man, and then the puck would get turned over in our neutral zone or even at the blue line and kept in, and our D men are already up the ice and there's a Panther in front of the net, like all alone.
Yeah, because like the thing is, running good. Like we saw it last year with the Panthers last year. Like the reason why they didn't make it past the second round is because they were playing run and gun offense. Like run and gun offenses do not make it far in playoffs, because it leads you to a bunch of odd man rushes and just wide open nets.
It's good for the regular season.
Yeah, because no one really plays a certain
it's not playoffs.
Yeah, because playoffs is such a different atmosphere and a different animal. Like you can't be doing run and gun offense.
That's why it was like, oh, Bruce Cassidy gone, but we don't like how defensive he coaches. But nevertheless, Knights are moving on, and the Bruins aren't.
Yeah, how about that? Makes you think.
Bruce is feet up right now, chilling, dude,
Right.
with a nice little glass of bourbon in his hand, with a little cigar, just puffing
Smoking
away,
smoking a cigar,
laughing his
yeah.
ass off at the Bruins collapse. Because we talked
Nasty.
about it all last year. We don't have to get into it again, but Cassidy was the scapegoat, clearly. I don't think he, lets this happen, but who knows,
Lockdown.
But yeah, but Monty went from literally king of the castle to hot seat. I mean, obviously he's going to come back next year. I don't think they're going to get rid of him that early, but depending on how next year goes, man, he could have a cup of coffee in Boston, man. It might not last long for him because, yeah, that was tough, dude. That was tough the way they went out. I never really felt confident going into the series. I picked Bruins in 6, gave the Panthers some respect. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought we would have lost this series to the Panthers, but they were just a better team. They came out and they wanted it more at the end of the day is honestly what it was. Like that Matt Tkachuk-led group, he's probably the best American-born player in the game right now. It's him and Matthews neck and neck, and it's sick that they're going to face off in the second round because that'll be a true tell, like who's the best U.S. guy in the league right now, Matthews or Tkachuk. But yeah, Tkachuk just caused problems for us all series, and we said it all year that defense was going to be the letdown in this team, and it's what happened, man. We couldn't handle a forecheck. We were running around like chickens with our heads cut off in the D zone. D zone was putrid all series long. Rumor has it too that Monty said to not pressure the puck carrier with the goalie pulled, which is I've never heard of that coaching strategy. You're just gonna sit. Yeah, dude, that's what's been going around. I don't know.
2 men on the
true or
puck.
not.
2 men on the puck. Yo, this guy
is insane.
Sit back on your
heels, man. That's a strategy that never works, and that's what we were on our heels all series. It was just like, chance after chance. Allmark and Swayman both came up with some big ones. Obviously everyone's going to talk about the ones they let in, but those games could have been way worse, in my opinion, honestly, because we let up so many high danger chances. It was brutal to watch.
That game 7, that could have been like 6-3 or something because Swayman made some big saves. He definitely didn't get much help, and he kept us in that game.
Yeah, overtime was just a matter of time in overtime. Like they had like 3 or 4 point blank chances early in OT, and I was just waiting for one of them to go in, and then finally Verhaeghe gets in the slot and just absolutely snipes. I'm like, there it is. You had a feeling deep down your gut that it was coming. Because besides the Pasternak chance that puck goes in like 99 times out of 100 to hit the knob of Bobrovsky's stick, and that's just kind of like the storybook ending here, literally quarter of an inch away from winning that and moving on. But there was so many other things that went wrong this series too. I mean, to think that Brad Marchand had the series on his stick in Game 5 with that breakaway,
right.
And regulation series could have been over right there. Bobby came up with a big save, and then Panthers obviously won in overtime. The Allmark giveaway was just that was added salt to the wound. You're like, oh, here we go. A big blunder like that.
What was Grizzly doing?
Yeah, it was just breakdown in communication. And then I think one of you mentioned
tell the goalie, rim it. Yeah,
one of you mentioned Grizzly's comments too, trying to bail himself out, put all the blame on Allmark. What kind of teammate is that? You know what I mean?
Such a towny move.
Yeah. And the DeBrusque hand
Some
pass.
Guy.
Which, I guess by the rule book, it was a hand pass, but he's literally trying to put his hand back on his stick, and his fingernail brushes the puck, and that took away a goal, obviously. Yeah. And then 60 seconds left in Game 7. I mean, we had the lead; it was right there. All we had to do was hold them off for another 50 seconds, or whatever it was, and hey, we're moving on. And I guess we should talk about too.
Swayman has to have that, I think.
Well, so the thing is about that goal.
Deflected, yeah.
So.
It was a bad break.
But the thing is about that whole entire goal to go into overtime in Game 7 was another testament to how lack of coaching we had and for adjustments in that series, because the Panthers call a timeout, and And like you see, like they show the Panthers bench, and like their assistant coach is like drawing up like, hey, you're here, you're here, you're here. Like the Bruins are doing this, right? Like he sees like the D zone coverage they're doing, and he adjusts his, like the offense to like pretty much like run an umbrella scheme, like it's like a power play. You know what I mean? And then they pan over to the Bruins, and the Bruins are just sitting there like no one's really talking to each other. I mean, they're probably like, yeah, fucking right. Let's get this puck out or something like that. And they're just like it's like a beer league timeout. You know what I mean? Like they're just like spraying some water in their face. Like the coaches are just standing there with the thumb up their ass. And then next thing you know, they score again. No adjustment. It's like, dude, like if I saw like the coach on the other bench being like, hey, this is what they're doing. I'm like, oh fuck, we gotta switch this up, boys. Like they're scheming. You know what I mean? Like just like you know what I mean? Just make an adjustment. Do something. Just don't go out there and just hope.
Yeah. It was almost like we were just waiting for it to get like handed to us. You know, we just like expected to win just because we showed up. Like, oh yeah, we had 64 wins this year. Like, yeah, we should win this game. All we gotta do is show up. There was no like effort. There was no like assertiveness, and it was just unfortunate. And then obviously one bad break after another for us. That the tying goal I think was blocked by Bergy, then came right back out. And then I think was like deflected by McAvoy or something. Like just, you know, bad breaks all over the place. And I guess we got to bring up too is I didn't see it live because my heart was friggin' beating through my chest and I was about to like throw up. But what was good with the graphic going off for a goal like 40 seconds before it happened? Did you guys see that on social media?
No.
So there's a video.
But I heard about it.
Yeah, there's a video going around from, I think, was it TNT is broadcasted on or TBS? Like, yeah. Literally, like a $1:20 left in the top left corner where, like, the scoreboard graphic is. It just goes Panthers goal, 3-3. And then, like, whatever, they're rimming it around, working it around, and then they score, like, 40 seconds later. It's like, what the hell was that? NHL rigged by Bettman? Did he make the call?
Jesus Christ.
He was at one of the games. I think he was in Boston for one of the games, and I think it was the second one we lost. And I was like, oh man, I was like, figures, fucking Bettman.
Yeah, you know the refs in. You know the refs in is. He's in the ref's ear, 100%. He's like, make that call.
Yeah, but it's definitely. Yeah, no, but the thing is, you can't rig the puck to go into the net though. So that's kind of like a stretch when I'd say like you're like hockey's getting rigged because like you can like rig basketball pretty easy and baseball and shit. But
yeah, you can call fouls.
Yeah, but hockey, like yeah, you can call power plays all day. But like if there's a hot goaltender, what are you gonna do? Fucking like to like go over to him like, hey, let it in, you fucking loser, or whatever. Like I have your family tied up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, man, the script was leaked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
if hockey's rigged, then I'm just like I don't know what to do with myself because that was like my biggest pride. I was like, oh, hockey can never be rigged.
Do we talk about what the future of the Bruins at all? Or
yeah, we might as well. We might as well because at the end of the game, man, the way Bergy and Marshy were hugging it out, tears flowing, standing out from the crowd, I think it might be it for Bergy.
Yeah, he's all done. I hate to say it, he's all done, dude. Like that send off. He was crying. Marchand was crying. I was crying. Fucking dude, that shit was fucked up, man.
I think there's a chance. I think there is a chance that he does come back. That could have just been he knows Krejci's all done.
Nah, who gives a fuck about Krejci?
No, they do. No, I don't. Yeah. I think Krejci's. He's cashed. He looked like he was.
Yeah, but like, dude, like I don't because I know he was done anyways. You know, going into the season, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, I already knew he was on his way out. But like, dude, the Bergy, like the fact that Bergy's crying and Marchand's crying and all that shit, dude. Like, you see the interviews, dude, the post game interviews, bro. They're like, it's all over. It's all over, dude. Marchand, he was like when they were interviewing him, he was just like, they're like, oh yeah, what's your thoughts on Bergy? And he like couldn't even talk. Like, because he was so just like...
He was doing the same thing last year, though.
Yeah, but dude, like, they know it's all over. And then the Bergy interview, too, like, all this shit, like, it was crazy. And then Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley interviewed Montgomery. And they're like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, all this stuff. Montgomery can barely, like, you tell that he's, like, holding back tears. And they're like, oh, yeah, is Patrice Bergeron coming back next year? And he just, like, looked, like, dead, like staring to the camera.
They don't know yet.
It was like, you can ask him that, but like the way he, like, you can tell he was like, oh shit, they asked that question. He wasn't expecting that question. Like, I don't know. Like I do think he's. I think he's.
I don't
done.
think they know. I think it's
But
Krejci. I mean, he needs
the
to
way
get
that unfolded, dude. The end of it was like, dude, there was a send off for Bergie when he was getting off the ice. Like, what
Yeah,
else
but
would there
doesn't
be?
know.
Why? You know what I mean? Like,
The thing I'm coming off of as like he's just doing it because he knows it's towards the end and he doesn't know yet. That's why he's like, if I don't do this and I decide to retire, I am gonna regret it. So I'm just gonna do a send off anyway. And I think there is a chance because I think the Bees are definitely gonna want him back though.
well, obviously,
Yeah, well, I'm saying like I think he was close. He was hurt at the end of last year too, but I mean like this is a back, so it could be it could be different.
I mean, it would be a wicked shitty like way to retire, but like, dude, he had a herniated disc, bro. You really can't come back from a herniated disc. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's like old man. Like, you need to get a back fusion kind of shit. Like, my mom has a herniated disc and she can barely walk around the house. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, fuck that. It sucks. It sucks to realize it, but it's just like, bro, like, I'd be shocked if he comes back next year.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it as, this is it for him, and that's why it was so emotional. Or it's just the fact that, like, this is the best chance that he'll ever have at a cup ever again. Like, you're not going to have a team as good as this team was. Like, broke the record for most wins, most points. So I think that's why some guys were so just deflated. Like, this was it. This was our opportunity, and we blew it. And it just, how much you work to get to this point, it's going to take a lot to get back here. I think that's why some of the guys were really choked up. But he could have easily said in the locker room, like, hey, boys, this is my last ride. Like, let's go make the most of it type of thing. Personally, I think this is the end of the road. I think it's the end of the road for him. He's just he's given everything he's got and then some. Like, he's always hurt. He's left everything out there. He's won a cup. A second one would have been great to end on. But I think this was it. This was their chance. And didn't work out. It would have been a perfect storybook ending if Bruins broke this record, had the best season of all time, and then like Bergie, Krejci, guys like that just ride off into the sunset. But it's reality. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. You don't always get that storybook ending. So unfortunately, I think this is it for Bergie. So just shout out to him if this is the end of the road. Our cap. Heart and soul of this team for the last 20-something years. Definitely will suck to see him go. Krejci, too. Krejci is, I know you guys are Krejci's, he's washed. 100%. His best years are behind him. Yeah. But he's criminally underrated. I got some little stat cheat sheet on him. So obviously Stanley Cup champion David Krejci. Played in 1,032 games as a Boston Bruin. That's pretty impressive, playing for the same team your entire career. Led the playoffs in scoring twice. Didn't know that. Didn't know he was a leading scorer in the playoffs, not once but twice. And then he kind of had a vintage game in that Game 7. He buried one tee. He looked like he had a little bit of life left in him, that old man. But, I think it's, better pastures for him from here on out.
It's not that I don't like Krejci. It's just I think it's the end of the road, and like when it's like, oh yeah, like Krejci might be back for like whatever Game 6 or 7. I was just like, it's like I'm all set at this point. If you're gonna be hurt and you were just skating in the check last year, like that you did it to yourself, that he set himself back and decided to come back. That's why, and he left because of Cassidy. I don't like any of that.
I just lost like what Vinny just said.
It's just stuff like that. Like, I love Krejci before, and then it's just like the stuff leading up to it. It's like, dude, are you in or not? Like, are you gonna just dick around? That's it. I mean,
I agree with Vinny. That's why, like, I've like when I what I said about, like 2 minutes ago about Krejci, like, reason why I had an outburst like that is because, like, what Vinny said, like, he literally just like gave up on us just because like our head coach was too hard on everyone. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's some soft ass shit, dude. I don't fuck with that. You know what I mean? That's just how I am as a player and as a person, honestly. Like, if you're too soft, like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Because and he comes back and he's playing with goal farmers and stuff like that, and he like didn't have legs to start the year or whatever, and then he's in and out of the lineup. Didn't play like pretty much the half the series, and then whatever. Yeah, he had a good game in Game 7, but obviously it wasn't good enough. He can't get out of the fucking first round.
Yeah, and you can't be relying on a couple 38-year-olds too as your
Right.
as the core of your team. You know, like obviously great careers, Bergeron and Krejci, but you know, not the players they once were. I mean, Bergie's still up there. He was just nominated for another Selk Trophy this year, which at 12th consecutive. That's unbelievable. But yeah, they're not the same players they were, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to call up some of the kids down in Prov, Lizelle. Let's see what he's made of. Let's see what some of those other guys are made
Speaking
of.
of
Laughlin, give some guys some chance.
Yeah, speaking of like picks in the future, what we gave up for Bertuzzi and that haul at the trade deadline was our first, second round picks this year and next year.
Wow.
And we don't have a pick in the first 3 rounds next year.
That's tough.
And we don't have a pick in the first 2 rounds this year. And 2025 is the next time we have a first round pick.
Damn, I forgot my whiskey and my handgun.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if we don't have any money for Bertuzzi because it's all tied up in Taylor Hall and Grizzlick and Carlo and all those overrated players that we have. So we're not going to get a quality player like Bertuzzi. Probably going back to the Wings too, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk
especially
about
after this, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about a positive here real quick. It's playoff Bert, man. He was unbelievable. We need him back.
Yeah.
I don't care what we have to do. We need playoff Bert back next year. He finally kind of settled in. Yeah, he's the perfect Bruin. We have to retain that guy. Orlov already doesn't look like he's coming back. Wants to go back to Washington. He said he's looking for his final contract. He is 32, so he's probably looking for like a 5-year, 6-year deal to end his career here. So I think he's going back to the Caps, the other dirty Russians. So that means
like
Bertuzzi is that's the motherland. But Bertuzzi's priority number 1 this offseason. Bring back Bert. You have to have him. And if we don't, I think I'm out on this team because he's like quickly become my all-time favorite Bruin, and he's only played like 20 games.
Yeah, but the thing is, dude, like the way it ended and everything, and like this, like everyone's probably like, yeah, they're bought in because they thought they're gonna win the cup, but after the way we just lost, everyone's like Orlov, for example, like he wants to go back to home base, like you guys said, but dude, he's like. Yeah, after they lost, he's probably like, Jesus Christ, dude, what a choke. And then just like, I'm going back to hang out with Ovi and shit. Like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Like, that was a waste of time.
I was gonna say, what's his name? Yeah.
And then like, you never know, dude. Bertuzzi, because Bertuzzi like loved the Wings because he was such a young core and he was boys of all the people he was playing with. Dude, he might go back too. He might just like, fuck it, like I want to go back there too.
Good, yeah.
He didn't want to leave Detroit, I heard.
Yeah, and the eyes are playing, dude. You know what I mean? They probably have like a better like their future's gonna be sick, dude. They have a sick future ahead of them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be like. I would understand why he'd want to go back to Detroit if he does.
All right, let's end with this because I don't want to spend all night talking about the Bruins' absolute choke job. So let's say Bergie does move on. Who's your vote for next captain of the Boston Bruins?
That's a tough question right now. Because everyone fucking played like shit in this series.
All right, this is who I would go with, and it's Charles McAvoy.
Fuck him.
That's what they have here. No, that's what they have here. I'm looking at. No, I think Charlie McAvoy is probably your next captain.
I think you gotta go Brad Marchand. Give it to Marshy. Let him lead the
I was thinking Marshy,
35 at 35 years old, or maybe 36, 37. For like a year?
He deserves it. Yeah, give it to him for a couple of years.
Yeah,
dude, you think he can behave himself?
Yeah, he wasn't. He was actually pretty disciplined. He didn't take a. I don't know if I'm right on that. I don't think he took a penalty all playoffs. Might be right.
I don't think he did. I think you're right.
Yeah, but we need that. We need that type of Marchand though. That's when he's at his best.
Yeah, I don't.
If he's not mixing it up like that, he's not doing anything.
As of right now, as I'm like sitting here thinking, I don't think anyone really has like the cap. Like I mean, like the only one like I can think of is like Coca brought out is Marshy, just because he's like the longest tenured Bruin. If like Bergie and Krejci dip, and Yeah, I guess because like no one else like really like shows like captain material, especially after that fucking shit show of the first round. You know what I mean? Like because Marchand also has credibility as a cup under him, so it's like I don't know. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Coco Marchand, because like who else would fucking get the C?
Yeah, or just have 3 assistants. That never works out though.
Yeah, like yeah, like the Jets.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're down bad and you're not gonna win.
Fucking Blake Wheeler getting stripped to the sea. How's your sister? How's your Berriga?
Yeah. So, yeah, choke job. Biggest one in NHL history. You gotta just own it. You gotta get out in front of it, wear it on the chin. Is what it is. I'm ready for the rebuild if that's what's next. I don't know what's next, but if it's a rebuild, so be it. But yeah, just extremely
or a
disappointing.
retool, like everyone else says.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, there's a retool and a rebuild. A retool is like you're just working on one side of the puck. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's a rebuild.
Yeah, clean house. Clean up shop. Start from scratch.
3-2 Florida in the second.
Wow. All right, why don't we move on? We got 7 other series to recap here, and then our second round preview. So we'll kind of go through these a little quickly. Let's talk about Canes Islanders. Canes got it done in 6. Snipsky and I had that. Bob, let's hear from you. What was the downfall with the Islanders?
I don't want to be that guy, but the refs kind of tilted that series a certain way. A couple missed calls in OT. The Canes, like the way they got out of that series is so fucking weird. They just got the weirdest goals, dude. All their goals were so dusty. Especially the game 6 game winner.
Yeah,
was so dust.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like
stats.
it's like what the fuck, dude. Yeah, that's why like in my head I'm like I don't think they're gonna make it out of the second round. They may get fucking stomped because like the way like they can't even the way like they have no scoring depth. You know what I mean? But like the Islanders, man, they played a good series in my opinion. Like from the scoring depth they had, like I think they were like a little bit more. They definitely were more heavy handed on the offensive side than the Canes were, just because obviously the Canes was Chestikov being out and everything. And the Islanders had a great decor, and Sorokin played pretty well, in my opinion. Like I think he played. He had maybe one bad game or so, but I think other than that, Sorokin was probably like one of the best players. But I mean, like the whole thing about like that series though, you knew that was gonna be such a hard fought series, like under, like just like hammer the under, like, you know what I mean, just like smash mouth hockey, which is like fun to watch. I actually enjoyed watching that series. Besides like the reffing.
Yeah, I mean, love the Canes in that series just because I think the opposite of Bob. I think the Islanders didn't have enough to keep up. Even without Snechikov, I still don't like the Canes advancing to the next round because I just don't think they have enough skill. But the Canes they play similar styles, just the Islanders just didn't have enough firepower when they got Bo Horvat, but Horvat he just doesn't have it. Like he doesn't have enough help either. Like Brock Nelson, Cal Clutterbuck, like that's decent, but they just didn't have enough. And the Islanders had the upper hand in the goalie, but I think didn't the Islanders have a tough time standing out of the box too?
Yeah, because of the reffing.
Yeah.
Dude, the refs were terrible in that series, dude. Dude, the refs literally handed the Canes that series, in my opinion.
I mean, they traded penalties, though, did they not? Or were they just...
No, I mean, like, both sides got penalties. Like, they got whatever, but...
They just... Canes have a better
There was a bunch of missed calls, dude. Like, there was, like, I think it was game 1 or game 2 where Islanders were buzzing, dude, in the overtime. They should have won. And then fucking... who was it, Pulak or something like that, got high-sticked by Martinook or something like that in their own zone. And they didn't call it, and then Martinook scored or whatever because Pulak was on the ground like holding his face because he probably had a broken nose from the stick, and then they scored. It was insane. Like it was some game, like there was like 2 or 3 games where the refs were like blatantly just like fucking
no blood didn't happen.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't matter. A high stick's a high stick. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, the Canes got kind of handed that series, but.
I think the Canes just the better team. I'm sorry, Bob. I know you picked.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. They're the better team, but at the same time, like. They kind of got handed it, but
yeah,
whatever. I
mean, yeah, it was a hard fought series. It went back and forth. Islanders kind of started to claw their way back into it, and then I think it was game 4. Islanders were at home and laid an absolute dud of a game. They were like in the box the entire first period. Canes took advantage of their opportunities. I just think at the end of the day, Canes were the better team, more experienced team, had been here before. They got the veterans. They paid a price, though, this series. They already were down Svechnikov, lost Teravainen. I think they lost someone else, too. So, yeah, they're a little wounded heading into the second round here. But they had enough talent to get by the Islanders. They made a goalie adjustment late in the series. They were rolling with Ranta, and then they went steady Freddie. Freddie Anderson made an appearance and played really well. Had that 2-1 OT win in Game 6 to close it out. So, yeah, Monty should have took notes on that one.
Yeah, Monty should take a lot of notes.
Is it Jack Drury?
Jack Drury, yeah, he got crunched from behind as a scumbag hit.
Oh, yeah. I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's came back from that. But, yeah, Canes got it done, but they paid the price for sure. Isles, they went down, but they went down swinging. Took some guys out with them. Another first round. Yeah, Sorokin too. Shout out Sorokin. He was solid. He just didn't get enough help. Didn't get enough help from his from the blue line. Another series in the first round was Tampa Bay Lightning, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and for the first time in 19 years, Leafs are moving on. Like I said, it's passing the torch. Bruins go down, Leafs move on. Hasn't happened in nearly 20 years. But yeah, shout out the Leafs. Congrats. Honestly, congratulations to the Leafs. Long time coming for them. And I'm saying it now. It's the Leafs year. I'm hopping on the wagon. Go Leafs, go. Let's get it done.
Dude, when I picked them, I felt like I was going against, I thought it was pretty much just going against everything that I stood for when I took the Leafs to make it out of the first round. But when you really just looked at everything, the Lightning weren't the Lightning anymore. Like Vasilevsky was just struggling heavily, and the goals he let up in that series, you're just like it was kind of sickening to watch. What the fuck, Vasi? What happened to you? Like that Game 6 OT goal let up was so bad. But yeah, congrats to the Leafs. 19 years in the making to get out of the first round. Jesus Christ, dude! Did you see them selling on the bench when they scored that OT goal and say, "Oh my god!" They acted like they won everything. Yeah, dude, they've never celebrated before.
Yeah,
it was the most incredible thing.
They had two different celebrations going on. One with Samsonov and then one with Tavares. Half the team was split up. It's act like you've been there before, boys.
And then the coaching staff. Yeah, and the coaching staff was playing grab ass. They were fucking hooking up with each other and shit. It was fucking crazy. They looked like a bunch of lushes, dude, at a college party.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Leafs, it was just a long time coming. It was just writing on the wall this year. Leafs had looked really good defensively throughout the whole regular season. They were not the regular Leafs. They were more sound defensively and just pounced on you offensively, especially with the power play. The Lightning they're just getting to, what was it, 3 straight finals they were going to. So there was something had to give in that final, in that matchup, and you could tell Vazzy's probably worn down playing all that hockey for so long, and he just couldn't see it from the blue line. They were just throwing pucks left and right at him, and they were just going in, and he just didn't look. He just they need a summer off just to regroup and, play some golf, hang out with their wives, and just rest. And then they come back next year and they'll be loaded, they'll be fine. But yeah, the Leafs, honestly, that Tavares goal, that was just summed up how it was their time, because that had no business going in when he went around the net and just threw it on net after. He willed that shift. Do you see a replay of that shift? He went around, dangled around the Lightning, went around the net in the blue line twice and then threw it on net and scored. He was on fire, John Tavares.
Yeah, no, the Leafs, they deserved it. Yeah, Snipsky made a good point. Tampa's been in the Cup 3 straight years. you play an 82 game season and then 20 plus more games in the playoffs. Like playing 100 games a year for 3 consecutive years, it really gonna wear you down in the long run. It was really just only a matter of time before they had an early exit. And a team like Toronto was just so overdue for this. They looked great, honestly. Johnny Tavares, shout out him, the Toronto kid growing up, was the one who scored the OT winner to send them to the second round, first time in 19 years. He also did that for the Islanders. He scored an OT goal for the Islanders to send them to the second round for the first time in like 23 years. It was even a longer drought than what Toronto had. So Johnny Tavares, confirmed clutch player. And there was other guys who stepped up big time too. Morgan Riley was unbelievable all series. I know people talk badly about the Maple Leafs defenseman, but Morgan Riley really stepped up. Same with Jake McCabe. That was a trade deadline acquisition for them. He was laying bodies out there, dude. Like, watch out. He was headhunting. Like, you got to keep your head up when he's on the ice. And Samsonov, they finally got a competent goalie. He looked real shaky early on in the series, too. He let in like 7 the first game. I think he got yanked, too. I think they put in Wall. But he settled in, and he looked really good in those last few games. Could say arguably stole a couple for them. Toronto stole 3 games on the road in overtime. That's when you know you deserve to win a series. 3 OT wins all on the road. Tampa just couldn't take care of business at home, and it's Toronto that's moving on. Now, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm all in on the Leafs now. Like, if you can't beat them, I'm joining them. Like, I want to be on for this story. First Stanley Cup of the Leafs in how many years? So I'm on the Leafs bandwagon, baby. Let's
60s.
go.
I think it's 67.
Yeah, I think it's 67.
And the last Canadian Cup was 1993, the year I was born, and I'm about to be 30. So that's a long time, I would say.
So yeah, go.
Yeah,
Leafs,
I'll
go.
admit. I'll admit. I was talking badly about Morgan Riley, and he stepped up in that series. And I'm sorry, Morgan.
You know who really showed up?
Sorry.
Who never shows up? And we were talking shit about him last year. Mr. Mitch Marner absolutely showed up, and he never does. And he had 11 points in that series.
Is that good?
And you know who else? You know who picked that series? All of us, because we're nasty.
I had to go against everything I believe in. Every bone in my body was like, don't pick the Leafs. Don't pick the Leafs. And I was like, I got to pick the Leafs. Like, it's their
funny
time.
story.
So, yeah, credit for us.
Funny story.
Having the guts to take the Leafs. We deserve a little credit.
Coco.
I committed treason.
Coco, remember, like, it was the first game of the series, and I think the Lightning were up like 2. What, they smoked the Leafs the first game, right? It was like
7-2.
7-2 or something. You're like, and then Bob, Bob like, I can't believe we just put all the credibility on the Leafs.
I know. Yeah,
we're all done. We might as well quit the pod. And I'm like, side story. Bob walks in the living room and he goes, dude, what the hell, dude? It's like the second period.
Yeah, no,
and I'm like, Bob, it's like the first game of the series. What are we doing?
Let me defend myself here, Jesus. So everyone that's listening right now knows that the Leafs have the worst track record in the first round ever. Haven't made it out in 19 fucking years, dude. Dude, like they're like their playoff, their first round drought, second round drought could like fucking buy a pack of cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking insane, dude. It can drink in Canada.
Pretty close.
It can drink in Canada. Yeah. So it's like, all right, what do we like? What the fuck? So when I saw it was 7-2, my bad for being like, what the fuck did I just do? You know what I mean?
You both. Coco was like, are you serious?
Yeah, I was like, we're all done.
Fucking nuts.
It was ballsy for a consensus Leafs pick for a Massachusetts-based podcast. I mean, we got a lot of heat for it. All like when we just posted our picks, everyone's like, Leafs, dude, like Lightning. Like we heard it. We heard it from everyone.
Yeah, dude, my girlfriend almost broke up with me.
Yeah, I know who said it. It was my buddy Matt. He might be listening. but he backpedaled and he said he was like never betting against the high slot again.
There you
Learned
go.
his lesson. Even when they up 3-1, I was like, I still don't feel good about this. And then they lose that game 5. I'm like, here we go. Here's the collapse. Another one.
Yeah, Lightning were gonna fight back. They were gonna trade a blow.
They weren't gonna go down easy. And it wasn't gonna be easy for Toronto. Of course they were gonna sweat a little bit. But they got it done. Congrats. Congrats to Toronto out there. Long time coming. I'm sure it feels great for that fan base. So let's talk about the last series in the Eastern Conference. It was a good one. We predicted it was going to be a good one. It was Rangers Devils. We all had this one going 7. It's the Devils who came out on top. What do we think, boys? This was a great series.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that the Devils were too young or whatever, didn't have experience, and it showed for the first 2 games. And then they just got and then that Dougie Hamilton snipe in that OT really just sprung them out of their feet, took the dust off or whatever the fuck it did. But won 3 in a row, lost game 6, obviously, got thumped at Madison Square Garden, and then game 7, the Rangers didn't show up. The only one that showed up was Shesty. Igor Shesterkin was the only one that showed up for that team. Everyone else was fucking asleep or something. Alexis Lafreniere had the best stat line. He had zeros across the board, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 plus minus, all this shit. But everyone else was dash. It's like, dude,
wow.
The fact that that's the best game 7 stat line on a team is honestly fucking embarrassing. That's crazy. And shout out High Slot Holla, Eric Holla, my Twitter picture. Burying in game 7, and that's another guy that we got rid of for the Bruins. So
he led
he's
the
going on to the
Devils
second round, and the rest of the team's
another one.
golfing.
He's leading the Devils in scoring after the first round. High Slot Hall.
Yeah, it's sick move. Attaboy Donnie Sweeney.
How many points Zach have?
None.
Another softie we traded for.
Fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah, so I had the Devils in 7. Smoked it.
Let's go, Snipsky.
Yeah, not a big deal. Had a lot of those. No big deal, but
really humble over here.
All right, so I mean, I have.
Not a big deal. Oh, yeah, not a big deal.
Yeah, I can take my victory lap. It happens. So, but it goes down to the goalie change by Lindy Ruff.
Lindy.
I give you
the real Jack Adams
Lindy
winner.
Ruff.
The real Jack Adams winner.
Yeah.
He wants to give Lindy a handy.
Yo, hey,
Or
Monty.
Dave Maxtall.
Take notes, right? Yo, hey, Monty, I hope you're watching that Devil series. Take some notes down on how to switch your goalies up, or just look at Paul Maurice. Anyway, Akira Schmid, absolute stud between the pipes.
Schmid,
the whole
the kid.
series changed when he got in there. Devils, I think Vanacek, he's kind of gave me this Samsonov vibes. He's kind of like a chokey, in and out type of guy, but the Devils are too good of a team to deal with goaltending like that. And if they get solid goaltending, they're going to be such a wagon. 4-0. Rags, good on paper, called it months ago when they went and got Kaner. It's just a bunch of big names. Tarasenko, I don't know what they gave up, but they probably leveraged their farm, and both those guys are walking after this year. Maybe Kane signs back, but Tarasenko gone.
I think Kane's definitely signing back. I can see that.
Yeah, I got a quick story, and then I'll go off on the Rags because I've been waiting. But it was that game. I think it was the game 3, the one where Dougie scored the OT winner. So I'm sitting on the couch with Bailey's dad, Jim. Shout out, Jim. We're watching the Rags Devils game. It's a great game, low scoring, tight game. And then it's intermission before OT, and every analyst on whatever TNT or whatever it was is picking their goal scorer for OT. They're like, yeah, I'm going Hughes, I'm going Kane, I'm going Zibanejad. They list all these guys. And I just look at Bailey's dad, Jim, and I'm like, I'm going Dougie Hamilton. He's like, Dougie? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Go on DraftKings real quick. Dougie Hamilton, next goal scorer, plus 2,000. I'm like, fuck, I'll throw a couple bucks on it. Next thing you know, Dougie picks. Jim looks at me. He's like, Dougie. I'm like, let's fucking go. I was fired up about that one. But that was sick. Just like threw it out there. I was like, fuck it, dude. Dougie Hamilton, former Bruin. He's a good guy.
And I was going to say another ex-Bruin. Thanks, Don.
No, he didn't want to stay here. No, he was like wanted out of Boston.
Yeah, he got a bad rep for whatever reason.
He didn't want to
in Boston. No, like he wasn't really well liked for some reason. I don't know. Just like was high draft pick, never really, I guess, lived up to the full potential that they thought he had. But we'll save that for another day.
You show up practice drunk a couple of times and they label you as alcoholic.
Right?
Yeah.
You make one bad decision. You pull your dick out at a children's playground and next thing you know. No, I'm just kidding. But back to the Rangers here. So I want to thank the New York Rangers, actually. I want to thank them because they took a little of the heat off the Bruins. Everyone was talking about the Bruins, and then next thing you know, Rangers choke job too. They were up 2-0, won 2 games on the road, and then dropped 2 in a row at home. That's just, you can't do that, man. You had a chance to take an absolute stranglehold on this series, and you failed to do so. Devils actually best road team in the NHL in the entire regular season, so I wasn't surprised to see them do that. I was a little nervous, not going to lie, after the first 2 games because Devils got pumped, dude. 5-1 both games at home.
Yeah.
But I think Vanacek was the main problem there. Like Snipsky, you said, just like I don't know what was up with him. Like, moments too big for you, bud. Just like wasn't making any timely saves. They make the switch, go to Schmidt. The kid, Schmitty's like 22 years old. Never even heard of this kid. I'm like, Devils are all done, dude. They turn to this dude, Schmidt. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then, dude, he was unbelievable. He was absolutely lights out, like cool as a cucumber. He's got to be like the biggest sick fuck goalie that you've probably ever met. Like, I can only imagine what he's like. Like, probably is honestly like just a mute. Like, probably doesn't even say a word in the locker room.
Yeah.
Just seems like a sicko.
Yeah.
But he came in relief with 1.38 goals allowed and a .951 save percentage to end that series. Completely stole it for the Devils. The young guns just got it done. They got hot. And then Game 7, Rangers just laid a dud. And I have talked shit about Igor Shesterkin. He's earned my respect because, like Bob, you mentioned, he was the only one who showed up for that Rangers team the entire series. Igor
They
kept
were
them
getting
in
booed.
it. Yeah, they looked real bad. But Igor, man, was making big save after big save, keeping them in it. It was a great goalie battle between Schmitty and Shesty. But yeah, at the end of the day, Devils, man. Devils got it done. So yeah, shout out them. Had Devils in 7. And I love to see the Rangers choke. Just something about the Rangers I hate. Bunch of fugazis. Their fan base sucks. So they can go fucking cry under a rock like us Bruins fans.
Yo, so back to Akira Schmid. I feel like that guy's pregame meal, he probably just sits at the stall and just has like a jar of peanut butter and just eats celery out of it. You know what I mean? Like dips the celery in it. Yeah, he's like one of those sickos. You know what I mean? Like he needs his protein, but also needs his health kick as well. And he probably doesn't say a fucking word, like you said. Like everyone just kind of like, all right, Akira, like just. Like, you know what I mean? He has like that stall in the corner where no one really goes near, you know what I mean? Like he's by the bathroom, so it's just awkward. You walk by him, you're like, oh, sorry, Kia. Sorry, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you try to stay out of his way. Oh, sorry, bro. Like,
and he just gives you like a head
he's
nod.
munching away.
Yeah. He just gives you like a head nod, goes back to what he's doing.
Yeah, and he's just like munching away on his celery.
He seems like an absolute mutant, but hey, he's a hell of a goaltender. He's red hot right now, and yeah, I'd watch out for the Devils in second round. All right, let's get to our Western Conference recap, and then we'll get into our round 2 preview. First series we had out west was the shortest of the series. It was Knights-Jets, and Knights got it done in 5. I was the only one who had the Jets. I'll just speak on them real quick. They just had a lot of injuries, man. A lot of injuries. Josh Morris, he got hurt early in the series. He's a Norris candidate defenseman. Hard to replace him. Mark Scheifele went down with an injury. A guy, Cole Perfetti, who was pretty big for them the regular season, got hurt before the playoffs. They never had him. And yeah, they were a wounded duck, and the Knights were too much in the end. Hellebuck did as much as he could. Rick Bowness kind of summed it up best. He said that their performance was just pathetic. There was no fight back from them. Basically just got pushed around. And there's some controversy out in Winnipeg right now. Hellebuck saying, hey, I'm not sticking around for a rebuild. Wheeler's saying, hey, Rick Bowness didn't handle that, the way we would have liked them to. The Jets are just back to being a dumpster fire. They do this, dude. They go back and forth. They have 1 year where they're pretty good, and you're like, hey, Jets might be a dark horse. Then they shit the bed, and then they'll have a terrible season next year. I guarantee it. Then they'll fall back, and they'll be pretty relevant again. And they just keep going in this pattern as a mediocre team, and that's really what they are at the end of the day. The Jets, they're just mediocre.
They sound like the Red Sox.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're like what? Good 1 year, and then last place the next.
Yeah, at least the Sox win honestly, championships, though. But
yeah. Not like the organization wise, but like just that trend.
Yeah, I do want to actually give a quick shout out to Laurent Brosseau, because I don't think many people believed in him, and he was steady this series. He was steady. So yeah, shout out him. He proved me wrong.
Yeah, the Vegas looked shaky at times though. There was a few games. What was it? It might have been Game 4, Game 3 when they went what was it, like a shootout type of game where it was Vegas had the lead. They were going back and forth, and it was in Winnipeg though. And it might have been Brosseau and net, but yeah, he had the game tying goal, right?
When he's the leading scorer for your team, you're in trouble. Good player, but shouldn't be leading.
He shouldn't be a top 6 forward or top 4.
Yeah, no chance.
Hellebuck, Hellebuck more like Ilya Sorokin, played good, but just didn't have the horses in front of him, But it's just Vegas, to me, they didn't look like they played their best game either, though. They had those games where they line up, like we were just talking about, where their defense didn't look 100%. Their scoring was there, but their defense just didn't look locked down. But I mean, I think they're with a coach like Bruce Cassidy, or they're good. I think they'll just keep getting better throughout the playoffs, especially defensively. And they don't need a great goalie. That's the other thing. The way Bruce Cassidy coaches his defense, it's all locked down, defenseman type stuff. So I think they'll be fine going into the next round.
Well, the thing is, the reason why they were kind of lacking defensively is because they had Shea Theodore and Whitecloud out for 2 games. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They didn't have a fully healthy team. Dude, when they're fully healthy, they're fucking gonna be. Dude, that's why I think they're gonna
Mark Stone back too.
Yeah. Stoner came back. It was his first ever game back since beginning of the season or something like that. Halfway through the season, and then he lit it up. So, dude, the offense looks great for the Knights. The top 6 is unbelievable. Chandler Stevenson's having a playoff. I love him, by the way. He's so fucking fast. And dude, when their decor is fully healthy, they should be for this round, bro, keep the puck if you pull in by Brosseau, because Brosseau is playing really well, and if that decor is fully healthy and can play to the weight, to the capacity I think they can play, dude, that, they're gonna be a very, very tough out.
They need to stay out of the box against Edmonton, and that's it.
Yeah,
because if they stay out of the box, don't give them any power play opportunities.
Vegas is the one team that could really lock down the Oilers' offense if they stay out of the box, like Vinny said. That's the one team that can truly do it.
And then there's the JV version of the Knights, who is the Kraken, who's kind of plays defense and then just capitalizes off opportunities.
Yeah, you want to talk about the Kraken? You guys got anything more about the Knights?
No, I think that's just kind of that's all I got for the Knights.
Yeah, shout out Bruce.
Bring up the Kraken.
Believe in Bruce. Bruce and the boys moving on.
I'm believing.
What probably would have been the biggest upset in the first round if it wasn't for the Bruins is the Kraken upsetting the Avalanche in 7 games. First ever series win franchise history, taking down the defending champs. I don't think really anyone saw this coming. None of us did, that's for sure. What are your thoughts on the Kraken?
Yeah, they're just a well-coached team, dude. Dave Hackstall, man, he's a great coach. Dude, have you seen like any of the videos of him just talking in the locker room, like pregame and postgame? He's just like smooth talking, like calm, like you know what I mean? Like he's like a perfect like he's a perfect coach between like a player coach and like the discipline coach, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of has like the militaristic charisma to him, but he's also just like you can tell he's like just like an easygoing guy at the same time. But he cracks the whip when he has to, you know. Such a defensively sounded team, so great in the D zone. Neutral zone's pretty good. Forechecks ferocious. That's what you need in the playoffs. Like Tanev, I know McCann is hurt, but like he had a great start to the playoff. And Grubauer has been showing up too, like knocking out his former team.
Don't forget Groovy.
Yeah, Grubauer like just knocked out his former team that didn't believe in him and fucking threw him over to Seattle. You know what I mean? So like that was. Mm-hmm. Like if you really looked at the nitty gritty details before like the playoff, and you'd be like, oh, there's a lot of storyline here. But I didn't really look into it like that much. But yeah, that's unbelievable though. Like they knocked out the Avs. Like dude, those are two like Bruins and Avs. Those two teams. Like really, you just got knocked out in 7. Like crazy.
You know what was huge in that series? No one's really talking about is Valerie Houston. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I almost
said that 10 times fast.
I almost had a stroke saying that. But Valerie Nichushkin, yeah. So I guess like halfway through the series, wasn't it like second game or whatever? He gets sent home.
Yeah, this is wild.
For like family reason or and like middle of the series they don't have their best. Yeah, personal reasons, something like that. But I guess like alcohol. I guess alcohol was involved, right, or something like that.
So this story is wild, dude. So Valerie Nichushkin, he got sent home for what they said was personal reasons at the beginning, and everyone's like, "Oh, it must have been like a death in the family, something something reasonable to get sent home for." But so apparently they found a woman in his hotel room that was so intoxicated that she had to be sent to the hospital. Like the girl was just absolutely obliterated.
Bill Cosby
needed to be brought to the hospital. That's the only details they really gave her, and they just said that he's going to be away from the team for a little bit. And we didn't see him since then. So I don't know, man. That's a sketchy story.
Yo, that sounds like I'm not even going to say it. All right, well, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah. I don't want to say anything wild on here, but I think everyone knows what I was just about to say there. But that's that's crazy.
But like where I was going with that, other than the story, was that's a huge blow. Like that's your starting right wing pretty much on your first line, and then he gets sent home, and that's just a recipe for like an L in the series right there. You lose a solid 2-way goal scoring right wing, and like you have him, McKinnon, and you have Ratnan like on the same that line would be a force to be reckoned with. But I think Seattle just really like forechecked the shit out of them, and they just got so pissed off. You even got the reigning Lady Bing winner, Cale Makar, like throwing cheap shots at guys, and getting suspended. Even though I kind of look at that hit like I don't know if he meant to like do it out of frustration. I think he just didn't hear the whistle and the puck was still in the air, and I think he just finished his check, and McCann was just in a weird, like, didn't expect it at all, so he wasn't preparing for the hit, and he just took the worst of what like Makar took, and he just finished his play. And what was McCann, concussed or something? He looked like he was all done. So I mean, it's weird. Once I saw something like that, I posted on a story. I was like, oh, Makar, Sassi, like for one game of the Avs in trouble, and indeed they were in trouble.
Yeah, I think
they couldn't score like the first goal either in any game.
I don't think they scored the first goal of the entire series. That's not a recipe for winning. You got to get out early and get ahead. Yeah, the Makar. The Makar thing, I think, was just like, it looked a lot worse than it actually was. Like, people say Makar's a dirty player. Like, no, he's not. I feel like that guy.
He's like the nicest dude in the league.
Yeah, like he'll barely hurt a fly. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't see much of this series because it was on it was the late game every night, and I feel like I'd watch the first period or two, and then I would just fall asleep and then wake up and be like, check my phone, be like, oh, who won? And then oh, Kraken, what the fuck? But no, we all had Avs. I mean, not many people predicted this upset. I'm happy the Avs lost. Honestly, I hate the Avs, so good to see them lose.
We were smoking crack all year.
I know, dude. It makes me feel better that the Avs lost, but I'm honestly pissed at myself that I wasn't a part of this Kraken upset. Because we were crackheads all year. We turned our backs on them. So I was a little more upset at myself. I didn't see this. Bob, you did mention that there were a lot of storylines that were kind of under the radar, like Grubauer facing his former team. A couple other things. So the writing was kind of on the wall there for a Kraken upset. So I'm glad they won. All right, we got 2 more games to recap. Let's talk about Stars Wild quickly. We all had Stars in 6. Nailed it. Can't get much better than that.
Yeah, Wild, they're not – that's a tough matchup. Also, I just don't think they have enough weaponry, or I just don't think they're tough enough either. They got Kirill Kaprizov, and that's pretty much it. If you look at their roster, I don't think they're Boldy, but Boldy still is kind of one-dimensional when you look at it. He's just an accessory type of piece where he scores a lot of goals, but where's the rest? You know, I mean, where's the couple assists a game too, or an assist? You know, it's Kirill doesn't have much. It's too bad they got rid of Kevin Fiala. They could have used him. It's kind of like a small market move where you want the guy, but you don't want to pay the guy. You know.
Yeah. The reason why I had the Stars in 6 is I knew the Wild were going to be a lot to handle because I knew Gustafsson. One of the reasons why I said 6 is Gustafsson was the hottest goaltender since the All-Star break. He had a crazy save percentage. Goals against average and all that, and he showed that in the playoffs, dude. He played really well, and then Dean Evanson just fucking was I'm gonna put Marc-Andre Fleury in for the game 2.
That's why it went 6.
It's what? It's what the fuck? It's and then he got shelled, and it's just what? And he went back to Gustafsson, and he went back to playing well. It's what's going on, dude? Dude, you never know if Gustafsson never got pulled in that second game. It could have been a complete different series.
It could have won 7.
It could have won 7, and the Wild could have won that, dude. If they didn't have that one boneheaded fucking decision putting Marc-Andre Fleury in. Don't get me wrong, I love Flowers, one of my favorite players. I mean, favorite goalies of all time. But at the same time, that guy is he's about washed up, and Gustafsson was the best the best goalie since the All-Star break. Why would you ever sit him?
Yeah, that was
it was borrowed time.
That was the TNT turning point in the series, dude. Gustafsson came off of 50 save performance where they won in double OT, and then for whatever reason, you're just we're gonna go with Fleury tonight. Yeah, I love Fleury, great goaltender. He is on his way out, he's late 30s. And he got shelled for 6 or 7 goals in that game too. That completely swung the series there. But loved what I saw from the Stars. Jake Ottinger being, typical Jake Ottinger in the playoffs, brick wall. And how about Rupe Hintz? 12 points, leading the playoffs and scoring right now. Rupe's having a breakout playoff. You love to see that. Sagan turning back the clock a little bit. He had a few goals, a couple big ones. And I'll just say quickly about the Wild, just really one thing about them. Marcus Foligno, absolute scumbag, dude. That guy is an absolute liability. Just go there was a couple calls I think they called it just because of his reputation, but he was doing scumbag shit left and right. So you're gonna get called if you're doing borderline shit. Everyone's saying the leg check, oh, that was clean. I'm dude, he literally almost fucking snapped that dude's leg in half. It was knee on knee.
How was a leg check clean?
Yeah, right.
In what universe is that clean? You know?
Yeah, that was scumbag shit.
Yeah, but good. Yeah, down go the Wild. Love what I see from the Stars. I love the Stars right now.
Yeah, the Stars look great.
I may or may not have put money on the Stars to win the Western Conference 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there.
I'm in a pool and I got giving the Stars to win the cup. So yeah, I'm all in on the Stars.
Lucky Stars.
There you go. Let's
Stars
go.
are
Go Stars.
aligning.
Roll Stars.
Stars are aligning.
Yeah, Stars are aligning, babe.
Right?
Nasty.
They look great. They fucking manhandled the Wild.
All right, one last game. We're gonna recap here, and then we'll get into some predictions. Good series. It was Edmonton Oilers, LA Kings. Looked like this one was gonna go the full 7, but Edmonton kind of the beast was awoken, and Oilers got it done in 6. What are our thoughts about on Edmonton and LA?
Yeah, it was a good series to watch. Oilers obviously have the best power play percentage and of all time, the best power play of all time.
Scary.
So I'd say the rest might have cooked up a couple fucking power plays for them. So
Bettman,
what are you gonna do?
Bettman made the call.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, that one. The reason why I thought I think obviously it's favored towards it was favored towards the Oilers because obviously Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, those are 2 superstars, and dude, that's that one play, Coco. You know what I'm talking about. I texted in the group chat. I know you saw this play. Kevin Fiala hits Leon Draisaitl clean as shit in their defensive zone. He goes the other way with the puck, and it was in LA. And then the refs called the penalty 20 seconds later while Kevin Fiala's on a 2-1-1 when they're up 4-3 or 4-2 or whatever it was. And it was a clean 2-1-1 and they blow the whistle and because Draisaitl fucking was crying on the ice even though it was a clean hit. And then they call a power play and then they score and next thing you know they win the game. It's all right, what are we doing here? That was clearly fucking a hand in them a power play for no fucking reason. Because if they show the replay, Fiala it was a good hit. Fiala's 5'8", 5'9",
Yeah, he's small,
maybe 5'10"
dude.
on skates, and Draisaitl's a legit monster, and he knocks him over, and that's a penalty. It's it was honestly nuts. But the thing is, Oilers are obviously
Sounds like the NBA.
yeah, no, that's exactly what it was. That's why it pissed me off, dude. As a avid hockey watcher, and I'm hockey's my passion, dude. That's why I have this podcast for you guys. That's why I'm playing in the next hour. Got puck dropping pretty soon here coming up, but so it just sucks watching NHL playoff games or NHL games that matter of just pussy shit. You know what I mean? Oh, someone gets hit. Oh, I gotta fight that guy because you laid a good hit. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that Trouba hit last night was they didn't fucking arrest him.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? On Timo Meier. So it's even though it was clean as shit, it's just dude, the game's getting soft. They need to stop with that shit.
They didn't do anything though.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm saying,
I agree.
yeah.
Which
is good.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was oh, that was a really good hit.
Oh, I've gotten clean so many times.
Yeah, I used to get my fucking
and
claw clean.
no one came to my rescue. So.
Yeah, shows how good of a teammate you were, huh? No one came to your rescue.
Oh, I was
Didn't pass the puck enough.
No, I was. Hey, hate is gonna hate. That was nice.
But yeah, McDavid got it done. The Oil were looking like shit, I think, through 3 games. The Kings were up 2-1, right, in the series. Kings looked like they had control.
2-0, yeah, 2-0, yeah.
Yeah, Kings
No,
looked
it's
like
2-1.
things-
It
Is
wasn't
it 2-1?
Yeah, they split
okay.
in Edmonton, and then Kings won the first game in LA.
Right.
And then it was all Oilers from there on out. Yeah, the Oilers were handed quite a few power plays, but even if the calls are weak, whatever, you still got to capitalize, and the Oilers did that because their power play is just so good. I mean, and then not even just McDavid, Draisaitl, Leon, man, 7 goals in that series. He went off. Oil looking good. Skinner was a little shaky. They went to Jack Campbell. He actually had a big relief performance one game. So yeah, we'll see if the goaltend can hold up for the Oil because the offense is on fire right now. But yeah, that was a real fun series to watch. Kings Oilers, a lot of goals, a lot of back and forth. Kings have a good team, man. Kings are good. They're young too. I was surprised they went with Korpisalo as long as they did. I thought a switch was due, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Oil are marching on.
Yeah, the Oil. It was obviously at first I was like, what's going on with when they were down, but then I'm just I wasn't really worried because I'm all right, this is McDavid, this is Draisaitl. I think they're gonna move on. I think they have such a tough matchup against the Knights. I think this is the worst case scenario for them because if they ended up against the Stars or the Kraken, they'd be in much better shape, but I'm just not. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm too confident with them going up against Bruce Cassidy and those Knights.
Sounds like Snipsky.
Yeah, the Knights just look really good.
Yeah, sounds like Snipsky's ready for some predictions. So you guys want to hop into it? Round 2 predictions?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. Quickly, so to recap round 1, Snipsky led the way. He went 6-2 in his series predictions. I was close behind. I went 5-3, and Bob 3-5. We did agree that if you got the correct number of games in the series right, you were added an extra win. Snipsky did that on all 6 of his wins. So technically, Snipsky was 12-2 through the first round. I did that 3 times, so that bumps me to 8-3. And Bob did it once, so he ends up at 4-5. So the current Evander Kane standings for the year. I'm in first, but not by much. I'm 73, 58-1. Snipsky very close behind at 70, 61-1. And Bob is in third right now, 62, 62-1. But hey, we got round 2, conference finals, and cup coming up. So a lot of predictions left. No one is safe. I'll tell you that. No one is safe. I thought I had this thing locked up, and wasn't the case. So a lot of pressure to make some good predictions.
I'll take a 500.
Yeah, we'll take it all day.
I'll take a 500 record after that. Like, I was like, dude, after that, like, fucking, like, whatever, because I took some lofty, like, fucking, some lofty dogs, lofty goal herb. And I was like, damn, like, that kind of fucked me, like, 3-5. But I'm trying to do better in the second round for y'all.
Yeah, big round 2 coming up. So let's get into it. We'll start in the East. We got Toronto and Florida. Should be Toronto, Boston, but I won't get into that. So Leafs Panthers. What are we thinking here, boys? Leafs Panthers.
Yeah, I got the Leafs. I mean, they're down right now 4-2. We're looking at it right now. It's 4-2 in the third. Obviously the Panthers are just rolling right now, but I think the Leafs will make it out of the second round just because, like, I don't know. I think it's just kind of the year to make a little run here, you know. But those pesky fucking Cats, man.
Yeah, so to be clear, I made this pick prior to puck drop, so I'm not just picking, but I'm taking the Panthers in 7. Yeah, check the Instagram. It's been posted hours ago. But, yeah, so I took Florida. Florida just looks too good. Playoff Bob, in that he just shows up when the time is big, and Matthew Tkachuk is a force to be reckoned with. Hide your sisters.
All right, so Snipsy's going Panthers in 7. Bob, you had Leafs in. Remind me one more time.
I think 6. Did 6. I say 6? Yeah,
6. I think I
need 4 out of 5 after this.
I'm also on the Leafs. Leafs in. I think I said 6. It's up on the Instagram. My phone just died on me. But I'm going Leafs.
Yeah, you do have 6. You both
of us Leafs
both
in
have
6.
6.
Yeah, so going Leafs in 6.
I have it right here.
All right, perfect. Going Leafs in 6. I'm dead serious. I'm all in on the Leafs. I'm all in on the bandwagon. I'm gonna double down on them, and hoping I don't regret it. So, yeah, it might be. It's the Leafs year. I said it. It's the Leafs year. I'm confident in it. I think the Leafs are gonna get by in this series. It's not going to be easy, though. I mean, the Panthers just took down the best regular season team, if you want to call them that, in hockey history. I think it's going to be a good battle.
Statistically.
Yeah, statistically. 2 of the best American-born players in the game right now going at it, Austin Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk. Buckle up. I think we're in for a long series here, but I'm rolling with the Leafs. All right, our other second-round matchup in the Eastern Conference, we got the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. Let's hear it, boys. Canes, Devils. This should be a good one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great one. It's gonna be like kind of like the Canes and the Islanders series. It's probably gonna be like, I mean, the Devils can score goals, but I think they're gonna lock it down more. Lindy Ruff's gonna have them play a more defensive game, match what the Canes are gonna be doing. But I have the Devils in that series as well. I forget how many games I said. It's 6 or 7.
You said 6.
I said 6. Okay, so Devils in 6. Just solely just because Akira Schmidt, he's gonna have his celery and peanut butter in the locker room in the corner next to the bathroom, not saying a fucking word, dialed in, just there for business trips only. Yeah, and like Devils defense looks unbelievable too. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like from top to bottom, like all three zones, the Devils look so good. So I'm gonna go with the Devils here. 6.
Yeah, I'm riding Devils too. Ride the hot guy when it comes to goaltending. The Canes didn't look too hot against the Islanders. Didn't really have much scoring. They did play pretty well defensively, but I think the Devils are just going to be too much to handle defensively and offensively.
This was really tough for me. Conflict of interest here because I really love the Devils. Obviously had them over the Rangers. Loved what I saw from them last series. But I got a future on the Canes to win the Cup. So it was tough for me to go against them here. I love both these teams. Sucks that they have to meet each other in the second round. One of them's going to have to go home. But at the end of the day, I'm leaning with the Canes. Going to go with them. I just think they're a little... I think the experience in the veteran leadership on Carolina is going to go a long way. Rod the Bod, great coach. He can match up with Lindy Ruff, go match for match here. And I think it's just a long time coming for the Canes, who have been here in the past couple years, haven't been able to quite get over the hump. But I think they get it done this year. I'm going Canes in 7. I think it's going to be a good one. I think
the only thing that. Oh yeah, you go.
I was going to say, I think because the Devils series went 7, might have, took a little bit out of them. That was a gritty series. Canes got it done a little earlier. They've had some rest. They're ready to go. And they're the higher seed, so they're going to have home ice advantage in this one too, which historically the Canes have been really good at home in the playoffs the past few years. Not so great on the road, but hopefully that can change for them.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the quick turnaround for the Devils. Definitely helps more.
Off a 7th game.
And the Sneshnikov injury, I think, is huge too. That's hurt them goal scoring wise.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them. That's why I have this one going 7. So yeah, I'm going to roll with the Canes. Odd man out here. Let's go to the Western Conference. Highlight our 2 matchups in the Western Conference. We'll start with Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken. What do we think, boys? Stars were good to us. Is it time to smoke some crack?
No, like I said, I have my life savings on the Stars winning the Western Conference, so I'm going to stick with it. No analysis. No analysis, just that I have coin on them.
I'm with the Stars, and Bob's in 7. I'm going in 6. I think Seattle, they busted their load last series, beat the Avs. That was their first series win in franchise history. Gonna bow out to the Stars, I think, in 6. Stars kind of the same built team, except just so much talent, and the goalie Ottinger is just a beast. I think he's just so Grubauer's playing well, but Ottinger's just. He's on another level.
Yeah, but you mean Hottinger?
Yeah. Wicked hot.
Yeah, it's going to be a consensus here for us, boys. I'm also on the Stars. I think I got them in 6.
20.
I mean, we faded the Kraken in the first round, all of us, and we're doing it again. So, I don't know. We didn't learn our lesson, clearly. But, yeah, I just like the Stars too much. I mentioned I'm in a pool. I got the Stars going all the way. Would love to see that for me, win a little extra dough. But, yeah, I think looking at the breakdown of this, Ottinger, I think the Stars got the upper hand in net. Ottinger in the playoffs is a different animal. You got a guy like Rupe Hintz, really coming out of his shell, kind of making a name for himself as an all-star in this league. Sagan's producing. Haven't really seen even much from Jason Robertson, who had a huge regular season. So if he can get going, that would be huge. And I think we might see Pavelski back for the series too. He went out after that.
Yeah, he's playing tonight.
Is he? Let's go. I love to hear that. So, yeah. Give me.
He was in warm-ups. I was watching.
Playoff Joe.
Uncle Joe Pa. He's back. I love that. Makes me love the Stars even more. Kraken are a great team. Can't sleep on them whatsoever. Dave Hackstall, great coach. Another candidate for the Jack Adams. Probably more deserving of it than Monty. But I think it's going to be a good series. Stars in 6. So give me Stars in 6.
Coco, in the text chain, it says stars and 7.
Oh, 7. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
gave
you.
the Kraken a little more respect. Stars and 7. And then lastly, we got the Edmonton Oilers against the Vegas Golden Knights. All 4 of these series are unbelievable, and I'm fired up for them.
Yeah.
But last one
That'd be
here,
good.
Oilers Knights. Let's hear it from you boys.
Believe in Bruce. Always believe in Bruce. Bruce Cassidy is going to cook it up. They're going to be completely healthy going to this round. Brissot's going to keep on doing what he's doing his thing in the net. They have a fully healthy D-core. They have the best D-core in the league by far. And then they're firing from all cylinders in the offensive side of the ice too. And dude, honestly, they stay out of the box like we mentioned earlier. Like they're the one team that can actually shut down the high-powered offense for the Oilers. So I'm going. I think I said 6, right? Knights and 6.
Yes.
Yeah, Knights and 6.
And let's not forget to mention that the Glizzy Gladiator is on the Knights.
He got
Mr.
scratched.
Phil Kessel.
He got scratched.
It doesn't matter. He's still on the team.
Does that mean that
He's
the
still
Iron
out
Man
there,
streak is
championship
over, though?
team.
Does Iron Man streak count towards playoffs?
Yeah, I think so.
In the playoffs?
Does it?
Yeah, it counts. Yeah.
I don't know. No, there would have been something on there. I think it's regular season.
No, they mentioned something on
No, because
on a panel.
they don't get rid of Iron Man streaks
Well,
because
no,
Keith Yandel didn't.
No,
go
it wasn't the
first round
Iron
of
Streak. They
playoffs.
said but it snapped his I forget how
All-time
much consecutive he
consecutive or
did. Like it was a crazy fucking number.
I don't think I don't think playoffs count.
No, I think you're right. No, but they mentioned something about how that was his first scratch. Or, he hasn't played that's his first time not playing a game in 800 whatever the fuck. It was probably more
they
than
just
that.
don't count
900.
playoffs.
It was a
It's just-
crazy
it's just
number
a-
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 900 something. It was nuts.
It's
Yeah.
absurd.
but it's the Knights. I think the Knights take care of the Oilers just because I think it's just a bad matchup for the Oilers. I think they're just going to be way too physical and way too good in the D end for them to even keep to generate offense. If they stay out of the box, the Knights, it will be just don't give them any opportunities because that's the best power play in the league, easy. And you got those superstars, Draisaitl and McDavid. Just can't give them any room. And Brissot's he's a good goalie for that team right now. Not a great goalie. You know what I'm saying? Logan Thompson, is he backing up or is he hurt?
He's hurt.
Yeah, so that would be a better bet. If they had Logan Thompson, I'd be like, oh yeah, they easy 6 games, but it could go 7. I could be wrong.
Dude, what the fuck?
Dude, but Bobrovsky's playing on his head.
God, I need one more goal for the over, bro. Come on.
The over.
What are we doing here? It's
no.
4-2 right now.
Is it? The Leafs are done game 1. That's disappointing. But no, I agree with everything you guys are saying here. I mean, I agree. I think if there is one team that could shut down the high-powered offense of the Oilers, it is the Knights. I agree. Believe in Bruce. I think Brissot has been solid, but I'm loyal to the oil. I'm loyal to the oil, baby. I'm sticking with the Oilers. McDavid, best player in the game by far. Draisaitl, his Batman or Robin to his Batman. So I'm going with the Oilers. I just think that McDavid's so hard to stop. As good as the Knights defense is, McDavid's so hard to stop. It's hard to slow down that power play. So yeah, they're gonna have to be really disciplined. But I'm gonna need Stuart Skinner to step his game up. He's gonna have to step up in this series because the Knights, they got a good offense.
He's been shaky.
They can score. So I think we're in for a good one. But yeah, I'm rolling with the oil.
They get traffic.
Yeah.
Knights get traffic to the net.
Yeah, it's a
screen your ass.
Two teams with completely different styles. Knights want to play tight, park the bus. Oil want to run and gun. We'll see who makes the adjustments. All right, there you have it. Round 2 previews. Hopefully the boys can stay hot with our series predictions. And this is huge for the standings, boys. Huge for the standings. Could be won and lost in round 2. We only have 2 more series in the conference finals and then Stanley Cup. So season's winding down, unfortunately. But we'll enjoy the hockey we have left because these are 4 unbelievable matchups in round 2 here. Yeah. And just to think that like the teams left, one of these teams is winning the Stanley Cup, right? Edmonton, who I don't know when the last time they've won it. Vegas never won it. Kraken obviously never won it. Stars, I think, have won the most recent. And then you got Devils, haven't won since like early 2000s, late 90s. Canes, been a while for them. Actually, they won like early 2000s. And then obviously Leafs, been forever.
Canes are the most
recent.
No, the Canes are most recent. They won in 06.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And then Leafs.
Yeah, and then the Devils were like 03 or something.
Yeah. So
at least I haven't won since friggin', I don't even know who was president.
Yeah, so
my dad was like a freshman in high school in 1967.
The cup is
like
up.
Richard Nixon, that scumbag.
The cup is up for grabs. The title is vacant, and it's anyone's right now. It's anyone's for the taking. So let's see who steps up here. Bob, you have time for a fun fact of the day, or you got to run? I know you got a game coming up.
No, I got you. So you know how the Bruins absolutely just fucking shit their pants first round, best team ever do it in regular season.
Yeah, thanks for reminding
So the
me.
biggest
wait,
yeah.
They did?
Yeah. So if anyone didn't know that, you know how like they said, well, what I saw on like ESPN, it kind of was an eye opening thing. So the Bruins and the Panthers were like the second biggest point differential between two teams playing against each other, and obviously the Panthers won. I forget how many points it was.
I think it was like 50.
But
it was like
in
1982.
Yeah, it's like it was an insane amount. So actually no, the biggest. This is the biggest one. This is the number one margin ever upset. 1982, the LA Kings upset the Oilers, and the Oilers had a 48-point differential against them, upper hand on them, and they lost in a 5-game series in the semifinals, like division semifinals.
Yeah, Florida, we had a 43-point.
Yeah,
right,
yeah, it's the most. That's the second most biggest like point differential for an upset, and then the number one was 48-point differential. Kings upsetting the Edmonton Oilers in 1982.
Yo, there's like 30 seconds left in this Florida-Toronto game, and there's a 5-minute power play for Toronto with 30 seconds left.
Sick.
Give me a goal, you losers.
Comedy.
You losers.
They like legit. Bobrovsky is a brick wall right now. He will not let. Dude, they're stuffing the puck in the crease. Like he is legit. Like
playoff Bob is
he's
locked
not
in.
budging.
That is not good for the Leafs.
Dude, Panthers, something crazy might end up in the cup final. This might be something crazy we're seeing here.
All right, fellas, see ya.
All right, Bob. Good luck.
So on that note, we'd like to thank our producer, Mass Music Radio. They continue to produce music for the masses. If you haven't already, be sure to go check them out and their other featured podcasts over at www.massmusicradio.com. That's www.massmusicradio.com. All right, that wraps it up for us here tonight. We hope you enjoyed another episode of The High Slot. We appreciate you all tuning in, all you loyal listeners out there. Be sure to go check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at High Slot Podcast for more daily hockey content and keeping you up to date with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you all next time. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.